Another day in lockdown here in San Francisco, but the curve of increased infections is starting to flatten off here in San Francisco. We're beating it. Everybody's staying inside, and that's going to be the way we have to get rid of this virus until a vaccine comes or something else. But today I'm going to talk about a couple of things. First, we're going to talk about coral bleaching over in Australia and how it's increasing because of global climate change. But there's also another reason there's coral bleaching. We'll talk about that. And then we'll get an update on something very interesting that's happening here in the U.S. The Great Barrier Reef mass coral bleaching in Australia. The reef has suffered widespread damage after rising sea temperature. This is the third mass coral bleaching event in 5 years. The northern reaches suffered an unprecedented 2 successive years of severe bleaching in 2016 and 2017. The Australian government has downgraded the reef to very poor in their long-term outlook. The leading case of coral bleaching is climate change, but there is another thing that causes coral bleaching. During El Nino, a swath of warm ocean water sweeps across the Pacific Ocean basin, leaving bleaching and dying corals in its wake. So I'm not sure why people aren't getting that global climate change with El Nino causes great pain and suffering for the corals. Now, coral is sort of made up of 2 parts. It's like having your body in 2 parts and you lose some of it. The part that goes away isn't really dead from what I understand, but the bone part and everything kind of dies out and becomes bleached. So the algae that is in the tissue of the coral leaves the coral during coral bleaching or is killed. They go somewhere else, I guess, and form. I'm not really clear on the concept, but anyway, coral bleaching, the causes is what I'm thinking is more important here. The causes is global climate change plus El Nino. So right now we are really dealing with climate change more than we've ever dealt with it before. We've reduced our traffic down to hardly anything, car traffic and truck traffic and all the other. We've reduced our smokestacks, except in the U.S. where the EPA has been disbanded and put on furlough, and the corporations can do whatever they want. It's a free-for-all now. So, with that little bit of news, let's go over and talk about the COVID and what's happening here in the U.S. and how important that is. So, the next issue is with the stimulus checks here in the U.S. that are going out to the people, and the huge stimulus that's going out to companies and corporations. But let's see what really is going on here in the U.S. You just won't believe it. In fact, you'll probably tell me I'm full of crap. But this is really happening. Let's go over to the board and see what it is. So it turns out that the U.S. stimulus checks will be about $1,200. I guess it will vary depending on what your job is. An Austin company, an unknown Austin company, in the article it was not told what the company was, will dock the $1,200 stimulus check from paychecks. Now let that sink in. This company is going to steal the $1,200 from your paycheck. This company is requiring you to sign an agreement that allows them to do this. The company is preemptively, that means it's already being done, deducting the funds from paychecks, even though the stimulus checks haven't been mailed. The company is calling it a temporary compensation reduction. The company's paychecks between April 6th and April 20th will be cut by 100% any money received under the stimulus bill. So no matter how much stimulus you get, that company is going to steal that money from you by reducing your paycheck. This is wage theft, very clearly wage theft. Hey, this is a new Make America Great place, huh? Make America great. The stimulus will be reimbursing the company as well for wages paid out for non-work. In other words, the government is going to pay companies and corporations for any losses they have for not working. So this company is not only getting compensation from the U.S. government for lost wages and lost money, but they're going to steal the money from the people themselves. I have a question. Will this become the norm? I was listening to Environmental Coffee House's video this morning, and Sandy was outside talking about how she had a little bit of burnout from the COVID thing. Man, this is not the time to have burnout. This is the time to have the energy to start to fight. This is when it gets serious. Are we going to just sit back and let these companies steal the only little compensation we get? You know, the corporations and the millionaires and billionaires are getting trillions of dollars, and all we're getting is $1,200. What's that? Half a rent here in California? A quarter of the rent? What good is that? And they're going to steal that from us as well? But that's not all. Many companies are planning for a 20% pay cut across the board. Now's the time not to get tired, people. Now's the time to stand up for the people. Don't put up with it. Don't sign. Just don't sign the agreement. They can't fire you. If you don't sign it and they fire you, you have everything on your side. But if you sign that agreement, you're just pushing for the companies to keep taking more and more money away from them and putting more and more money at the top. It's clear as a bell what's happening. This stimulus is just a ripoff from the taxpayers. This money didn't just come out of anywhere. It came from the taxpayer. You people paying taxes while you work went into this. Mad yet?